that time again, Valentine's Day looks. I'm thinking about doing 2 looks. I wanted something really girly and pink, and then I'm thinking vampy. So this is the girly and pink look. I already have my eyebrows done as always because they take me the longest, but I am gonna do an eyebrow tutorial coming up really soon. Anyways, let's get started and let's get our Valentine's Day girly glam on. I'm starting with this Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. I've had it forever and I picked it up the other day and I used it and it like changed my life. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit out on my finger here, just about that much. And I like to tap it into the places that I want to minimize my pores and make sure it's super smooth for a flawless foundation application. Now moving on to foundation, I'm gonna do my foundation first today because the eye look I'm gonna do, I really wanna like smoke it out and like blend it into the foundation we already have on. I'm just gonna do it. It's easier to do than explain. So I'm just gonna start with my foundation. I'm going to mix these two. I'm gonna use the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. This is actually one of my favorite foundations and I highly recommend it. It's so full coverage, but just looks amazing on the skin. And then I'm gonna go over that on the high points of my face. So I'm kind of gonna pre-highlight. We're gonna be extra. And this is the Sephora Perfection Mist Airbrush Foundation and I'm using the shade Light. And this is in the shade Creme Chamois. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's pop this on. Okay, so I already applied it to this side. This is what it looks like. And we're just gonna pop this onto the face. I always hear people say that this doesn't look sanitary, but I mean, we use concealer. And concealer has a doe foot too, so I don't know why. Maybe it's just a mental thing. I definitely love this foundation. I love this about it. It's super easy to put on. And when I'm in a hurry, I always reach for this one. All right, that should be enough. Way too much. All right, guys, I'm using my dirty, but not that dirty. It's not as dirty as it looks, beauty blender, and it's damp, of course. I always say that because so many of you ask if you use it wet, and you do. So we're just gonna start to tap this into the skin and make sure you really work it in. And I'm just going to, I usually take a little while doing this, so. In YouTube time, it doesn't look like I take that long, but I take quite a while to work this into my skin. So just always keep that in mind. The more you work it in, the more natural it's gonna look. All right, guys, you ready for this? Ha! So I like to take a little bit of this foundation and I like to pop it on the high points of my face. This is kind of like pre-highlight. I like the way this looks. I also love this foundation. It's really light, but it just really gives a really pretty glow. I mean, how much fun is that? That's a party I want to go to right there. I've seen a lot of people say there's different ways to spray this and what you're supposed to do. Some say to spray it on your face, some say to spray it on a brush, some say to spray it on your sponge. I say live your life and do what you want, and there's no correct way. Just do it the way you feel comfortable. But I mean, look how pretty this is. Like, it just adds an extra glow. We're gonna use concealer too. We're extra. So I already kind of roughly blended it over there. So I'm gonna pop my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm in the shade Light Medium now. Ooh, I went up a shade, I'm out of control. So I just like to put on, you know, a lot of this because it's my favorite concealer in the history of concealers. And we're just gonna blend this in with our damp beauty blender. And also, this concealer blends faster than any concealer I've ever seen. It's the best. Now we're gonna bake and set. So I first like to put this underneath my eye. We're gonna set underneath here. And then I take whatever's left on my beauty blender and I kind of roll it and press it into the skin. And that's about it. And then I like this powder a whole lot. I really feel like it brightens and I feel like it sets really nice. So I'm just gonna roll it into just about everywhere. Notice the rolling motion I'm doing. Going into Soft Ochre. I don't know what the name of this brush is. I've had it forever and it does not have a name, but it's just a fluffy brush. So I think a fluffy brush is really good to apply Soft Ochre. We're not gonna apply as much because we already have foundation on our eyes, so we're just gonna use this just so the eyeshadow has something really nice to cling to. Going in with Colourpop Hear Me Out. This shadow has become like my favorite setting, like base shadow to set my eyeshadow primer. It's just so amazing, it's so smooth, and I love how bright it is. It's the bomb, you guys need it. Okay, I'm going into Colourpop, wait for it. I haven't stopped using these eyeshadows since I got them, you guys. So we're just gonna take this into our crease. I'm using a MAC 224 brush. So we're gonna pop this in our crease, bring it all the way over, and we're gonna bring this shade down through here. This is gonna be a really smoked out look. I feel like these looks are a little bit easier sometimes than a cut crease. And I just feel like this is gonna be super cute for Valentine's Day. Okay guys, I wanna show you how I'm blending. So I'm taking the shadow on the inner part here. I'm gonna look up so you guys can really see. And then we're gonna round it out through here, and then when we're getting closer to being done, we're gonna really round it out under here too. So we want this to be a really round shape. How pretty is this packaging? Okay, so this is the Colourpop High Maintenance Palette. And these don't have names, I don't think. If they do, I'm sorry, I don't know them. But I mean, there's only 4 to choose from. So we're gonna take this more red shade first. And we're using a MAC 224. And we're just going to pop this right underneath the lighter shade we used. So you can see I'm taking this deeper into the crease. Don't worry about getting it on the lid. The color we're gonna use, we're gonna clean that up. And I'm rounding it out, you guys. Remember, this is a really round, smoked out look. So just keep blending, and I'm still using my MAC 224, and now I'm gonna start doing small circular motions to make sure that we're really blended and we're not patchy. Yeah. So I don't have any more product left on my brush. I'm just gonna show you guys how I'm shaping it. Notice how far I'm bringing it over in here. I'm bringing it out, and I'm even starting to bring it a touch right here on my lash line. And we're just gonna really round this out and make sure it's blended. Remember, no more product on here, just whatever's left. And we're just doing circular motions, and we're gonna make sure this is super smoky and super blended. Okay guys, we're gonna take this shade here, the really deep shade. This is the last crease color. I feel so proud of myself. I've used so little shadows for me. I'm still using my MAC 224. So one of the reasons this look is going to be a little bit easier is that we're only using one brush for our crease. And we're just going to put this deeper in the socket, and we're going to blend it out just like we were doing the other colors, but just this one a little bit deeper in the socket. I'm going to deepen my waterline. This is MAC Teddy Eye Kohl. This is from the Caitlyn Jenner collection, but it's like a permanent thing. Teddy's been there forever. I've been using it forever. I like this one and coffee. I switch between these two. So I'm just gonna pop this on the waterline. You guys always be careful when you do this. Throw it on my top lash line too. And then I always like to bring it out on the bottom right here, just a little bit. Now we're going to finish up underneath our eye to smoke it out. I'm using a MAC 242, and I'm just gonna mix these two colors. And we're going to keep this pretty close to the lash line for now. So now we're just gonna smoke this out with our MAC 242, using those two colors. We're gonna bring it pretty far underneath here because we're extra, y'all. So I did one eye off camera, so I'm gonna go back and do the other one. This is a MAC 242, and my brush is wet with MAC Fix Plus. Okay guys, and now we're going to start to carve out our lid here. And now we're just going to start to carve out the lid and make sure that this is super like bright and festive. Ooh, that is definitely festive. This screams Valentine's Day. Okay, now you definitely want to connect these two together. That's always the biggest thing that I see, that the shadow doesn't quite get blended up into here. I'm using a MAC 217, no product. And I'm just gonna blend it lightly into the darker color. You want everything to be seamless. Hop it into my absolute ride or die inner corner Colourpop Tassel. You guys know I cannot live without it. I'm using a Dose of Colors pencil brush. I don't know if I said that, but I want to make sure. So I'm just gonna pop this in there, and then I'm gonna light up this inner corner like the 4th of July. My brush is a little damp with MAC Fix Plus. It just makes it turn into like liquid diamonds. Next, I'm gonna take this MAC Penultimate Eye Liner. Look how cool it is. It's like a big marker. It's really easy to use. This is actually from one of their collections, James Caliados. Oh, good God, my pronunciation. I'm pretty sure this collection just came out and it has a bunch of really cool stuff. So of course it's gonna be listed below. But for right now, let's try and make sure stuff isn't falling off, and let's draw a wing. I always like to start right here, map out the line right here, then I'll connect it, and then I'll thicken it as I want to. I think I should do an in-depth wing liner. Let me know in the comments below if you want a wing liner tutorial. Just gonna apply a quick coat of mascara. You guys know we're gonna pop on some lashes, but this is the Benefit Cosmetics Roller Lash Mascara. So I've been tan enough to be using my MAC Give Me Sun, and my life has just been fabulous lately. I'm gonna use a MAC 135 brush. We're not really doing a contour, we're just gonna do an all over bronzy glow. So I'm gonna use these bad boys right here. I love these. This is the Sephora Radiant Luminizing Drops in the shade Starlight. So it's a dropper, and I like to put, I don't know, I guess 1 drop. This thing plays me. I don't know what it is. I think I got a bad one. But all the other ones I've had drop amazing. This one, I think it's just playing me. I'll get a new one. So I put about that much on the end of my beauty blender. Are you guys ready? Then I like to pop it on my cheekbone. And I like to start to work it into the skin. I actually like applying these on top of powder. It doesn't mess up your powder, so if you guys want to do that, go right ahead. I love these, they're so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit off of the beauty blender and I'm going to tap some on the tip of my nose. Not too much, a little right here. I'm going to grab some more and then I'm going to put it on my Cupid's bow. I'm taking my favorite lashes. These are my all-time favorites from Lilly Lashes. This is the style MYKONOS. And I've worn these probably 20 times already and they look amazing. And not only that, they're curved more to my eye now, so it's amazing. I'm using my Duo Dark Tone Glue. I'm gonna pop the glue on here and I'm gonna let these lashes sit for 5 minutes until they get tacky. Be patient with your lash glue. Since this is a Valentine's Day look, let's do a pink highlight. Let's just make it all pink. This is the Mcgrath Iridescent Pink Pigment. One of my favorite pink highlighters ever. I mean, this is why. Bam, like I lightly touched it, look at that. Is it beautiful, Ben? Does it scream Valentine's Day? So we're just gonna blend this in, and I'm using a Morphe R3 brush, and I'm just gonna leave the highlight, the pink highlight here. We're gonna let everything else, the liquid illuminator, be the rest of the highlight. So just the pink here. I always use tweezers when I pop on my falsies. So we'll just place it on there, and since the lash glue has dried for 5 minutes, it's so much easier to apply. Don't mind this, I was testing out colors. So I'm gonna use the new Vice liquid lipstick. I'm using the shade Back Talk and Rapture. I'm gonna use Rapture first, that's the one I have on. So I'm going to line my lips with Rapture. And then I'm going to go in the center with Back Talk. So I wanna talk about the wand. It's really pointy, which makes it really good for lining and really good for fitting into your Cupid's bow. I like to really get my Cupid's bow precise, except for it's hard when you're talking. But this is a really good wand for precision, and of course the formula is amazing. Now I'm taking the shade Back Talk, and we're gonna apply this in the center. And we're gonna kind of blend it in to the deeper color, Rapture. And then I'm gonna take my finger and tap it in. Okay guys, this is the finished look. Rose gold, lots of mauves. Mauves are my favorite. But anyways, I think this is the first of 2 Valentine's Day looks I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do something a little more subtle in the next one. Probably not. It'll probably wind up being a smoky eye with red lip. I'm out of control. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day. And make sure you thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Love you guys.